Chihuahua.
Love stinks?
Love stinks! Yeah, yeah!
Science fiction, double feature. Dr. X will build a creature. See androids fighting, Brad and Janet, and friends and stars and Forbidden Planet. And the late night double feature picture shot in the metro. The late night double feature picture show.
Welcome, everybody, to our Love-Stinks-A-Thon double feature for Companion and Love Hurts. It is February after all, Valentine's Day month. Please excuse my malfunctioning camera, as I really need another one, apparently. We hope you enjoy the intro, and you know how this works by now, so we'll go ahead and get it started. So, first up is Love Hurts. Love Hurts. The newly released film directed by Jonathan Eusebio. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And starring everyone's favorite Ke Huy Quan. After Goonies never say die, but sadly, film studios still do, and it seems that this little unfairly maligned gem may just suffer that same fate. You can blame the February box office, blame the Super Bowl lag, blame the annual Super Bowl lag or whatever, but either way, it is apparently not doing very well, as it received less than 1 million in early previews, only like 800,000. Fortunately, the film did not cost that much to make, so it should not be a huge problem. But after his feel-good win at the Oscars a couple of years ago for Best Supporting Actor, it's great to see Ke Huy Quan not only back on the big screen, but starring in his own film. It's an unlikely role for him, an action comedy role, and it's one he almost turned down, but for the encouragement of Steven Spielberg, who saw in him the possibility to be a different kind of action hero. And he certainly is that. For the most part, it works. He's just as funny as you would expect. But he's also believable in the action scenes, mainly due to his lithe figure, his speed, and his agility. He has decent chemistry with Ariana DeBose's Rose Carlyle, the bad girl hit girl, I guess, he left behind along with a life of crime to become a humble realtor. The film also serves as a mini Goonies reunion of sorts, with Sean Astin himself making a brief but very memorable appearance as his boss and best friend, Cliff Cusack. He had one of the more memorable scenes in the film. Former football star Marshawn Lynch gets in on the action as one half of a hapless hitman duo, and Daniel Wu stars as Quan's ruthless older brother, Alvin Knuckles Gable. It's not a great film, nothing spectacular. The film gets a bit too predictable at times. It's not exactly high art, but it also doesn't deserve nearly the amount of hate it's getting from critics. At the end of the day, it's a fun, lighthearted romp with solid action and some good comedy. Don't expect too much and you won't be disappointed here. And for that reason, my rating is a very decent 6.5 out of 10. So I really enjoyed the film. Had a lot of fun with it. I expected the worst I expected maybe a bad film out of the reviews, but I watched it and I had fun with it. So not great, but good popcorn movie. So next will be to my right here would be the right dude. So, all right, take it away, brother.
All right, then. So I honestly kept thinking that this was actually going to be like a really fun kind of movie. You know, I do like Ki Kwan, and he has made a major comeback. He has made a major comeback after getting his award for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which he was amazing by. I was still rooting for Brian Tyree Henry, but I can't deny he did an amazing job in that movie. So I was honestly hopeful, and I was thinking like, let's see how he could do like as an action star, you know. And it did, and the trailers did seem like it fun at first. And then the reviews came out, and then I got very concerned about it. So, and then I went to go see this with my brother today. This along with another movie, which sadly we are not reviewing, Hard Eyes. But if you want to know my quick thoughts, that movie was a lot of fun. But we're not talking about Hard Eyes. We're talking about Love Hurts. So, I guess to an extent, I honestly can understand where a lot of the criticisms came from, but I honestly don't think it's like 19% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's a little too harsh. But I can't really say that I enjoy the movie overall. I mean, to me, I mean, let me get the positives out of the way. I mean, the acting is fine. The action scenes can be fun at times. It can, if you just want like a turn your brain off dumb popcorn movie, maybe you'll at least be able to get something out of this, maybe. So unfortunately for me, I honestly just felt like there was really nothing to this movie. Honestly, I just felt like it felt like every generic safe action movie, you know, like it just felt like that with like a Valentine's Day label on it. So maybe if you want something simple to kill for like about 80 minutes or so, then maybe it could be an okay time waster. But I felt like you could be able to do a lot more, because I just felt like there really wasn't anything to this movie. It just felt kind of there. It was bland. I'm honestly even thinking, I mean, like I said, the action scenes, they were okay, but I've seen better action scenes in better movies, you know. And I mean, the acting, like I said, the acting's okay. And although I felt like there really wasn't the relationship between Ki Kwan's character and the ex, I felt like there wasn't a whole lot to their chemistry, you know. So, but then again, that's just me. I just felt like it was kind of like safe, paint by numbers, kind of action movie. If that's all you're looking for, just to turn your brain off, maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of it. But there's plenty of other movies I'd rather be watching, you know. So I can't help but be a little disappointed in this movie. So I know I'm rambling. About the same thing over and over again, but I don't really have a whole lot to say for this one, so I can't help but be let down. I don't know where Marco went, but short to the point, it was just kind of safe. It was just kind of there. I'm kind of even thinking, am I going to remember this movie by the end of the year? But we'll see. So with that, my score is a 4.5 out of 10. So I wanted to enjoy this movie a lot more, but unfortunately, it just didn't do a whole lot for me. Sorry.
All right. And last but most certainly not least, our brother John.
I'm the last boy now. Is this what Mark feels like? Anyway, so I just kind of did a quick review. But Love Hurts, to the shock of no one, Rotten Tomatoes and IGN are fucking morons. So for me, the pros are Ke Huy Quan. Enough said. Ariana DeBose is hot as fuck. Yes, that counts as a pro to the movie. Luckily, she was great outside of that, but you know, titties. The supporting cast of Mustafa Shakir, Marshawn, I'm Just Here So I Don't Get Fined Lynch, Discount Aubrey Plaza, and Sean Astin were all great. Love seeing the Goonies reunion between the two. I felt that scene was very good in the beginning of the film. The story was relatively easy to follow and engaging. The fight scenes were, of course, fantastic. I liked how in the beginning Marv was not exactly the best at fighting, but got better until the final showdown where he showed off his skills more predominantly. It felt like its running time, like it felt like an 83-minute movie, and it was an 83-minute movie. And the comedy I thought was good. I laughed quite a few times at this. However, some of the cons are that there are plenty of lulls that had me struggling to keep my eyes open. The editing felt weird. Lots of surreal, like, insert shots that don't add anything to the overall story, as well as plenty of scenes that felt cut out that could have added some context for, like, the scenes we saw. With that, they could have added maybe 5 or so minutes. Could have had a bit more punch to it. No pun intended. Like something like Nobody had. I feel like if we're comparing those two, I think Nobody is pretty much this movie, but done way better. And it felt a bit derivative of other movies, like the two got Marshawn Lynch and the other guy, the white guy, I don't know his name. They felt very much like, Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, and I think that's what they were trying to do. Action scenes felt very John Wick-esque, which isn't a bad thing. It started a whole like subgenre of action movies, so that's cool. But yeah, and then the villain, Knuckles, his acting was fucking terrible. There's no intimidation factor, and he felt like a parody of a villain more than anything. Give me Idris Elba any day of the week. So while I was initially really excited, the bad reviews brought down my expectations a bit. I expected crap with those new reviews, but got something pretty damn good. Maybe not meeting of my initial expectations, but I still enjoyed my time with it. People need to calm down. But this does make me believe that Nobody 2, also set to come out this year, will probably be better, and I cannot wait for that. But despite this was still a relatively entertaining movie, and I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Once again, we are correct, and everyone else is wrong.
Yeah, but that's like about the audience rating for the movie. It is 664, which is 6.5 for two of them. So
I'm happy. I'm happy you guys really enjoyed it. I wish I did. So, but what could you do?
Well, I mean, we recognize it's not exactly perfect, I mean, this definitely has some flaws, I mean, it doesn't, like you said, it plays it too safe. It doesn't exactly go out of its way, to do anything groundbreaking. But it does feel like a lot of, like you guys said, it does feel like a lot of movies you've seen before. It really does feel like an inferior version of Nobody, But at the same time, I think Ke Huy Quan and some of the supporting cast, especially Ariana DeBose, were really, really good, So I mean, I think they keep it funny, I did think Marshawn Lynch and oh god, I forget the guy who was
I don't know his name. Also, Cam Gigandit's
Andre
character.
Erickson, Otis, that's what was his name, Otis.
Yeah, Otis. But yeah, the sub villain Cam Gigandit, a Merlot. He was also not very good. He was just kind of he was like kind of ridiculous. Like I felt like he wasn't very engaging. But yeah, I just like I can't imagine. I imagine just Rob just watching this movie. And just every time Knuckles comes on, he's just like, I could be fucking watching Sonic right now instead of
Exactly.
So, I can only imagine, like, I could be fucking watching my favorite blue hedgehog, but no, I gotta watch this fucking movie I don't even like.
Oh man.
I mean, even though I wasn't really a big fan of this movie, I'll say this. I'll still take this over the last movie we reviewed.
Yeah. I mean, that's not saying much. I mean, considering I liked this one and didn't like the other one, and then like the more like shit that comes out about Robert Eggers' upcoming werewolf movie. He's like, I think he has a personal vendetta. I'm sorry. I know I say that's my headcanon of like he went to go see Wolfman. He's like, I got to show these motherfuckers how to make a werewolf movie. Like the more he talks about it, I'm like, I think that's what actually happened. I think he's like kind of doing it out of spite because remember the movie wasn't really announced until like around the time Wolfman came out. So I'm like, I think he fucking saw this shit fest and was like, all right, I got to do this better. Because he's saying it's the darkest thing he's ever written. And that's saying fucking a lot for Robert Eggers. Like, considering Nosferatu is probably arguably, that's the darkest thing he's ever written. So I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it does seem like it was just odd timing, you know, Wolfman comes out and gets horrible reviews. You know, he said all of a sudden, you know what? Next film, fucking Wolfman. Let me show you how to do it, pal. I think it was just he may have just been fucking offended by that. You know what I mean? Shit. But either way, I mean, I thought it was kind of harmless. I mean, honestly, our reviews really kind of reflect where most people kind of were because, I mean, the IMDb average is what, 5.6? So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much where everybody is with this film, you know, right in the middle. So, I mean, it works for some, works for others, but I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, Jesus, by any means. So,
yeah, I think that it's just like, it just goes to show even our lowest review with Rob's, it's just like, it's not like downright fucking like offensive that like I kind of expected with it. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Seriously.
And then once, you know, Sean Astin gets into the room, like, oh, he's gonna fucking die. But he got a fucking gnarly ass death. I'm like,
seriously.
God damn.
He was so good in that scene, man. My God. I fucking like, oh my God. I fucking love
and I liked and with that, I liked how earlier on in the film they have that like heartfelt moment, which you could kind of predict like he's gonna die. But even then, I still liked how they had that like nice moment, like you were a mentor to me. I really appreciated you and blah blah blah. I really liked it. I just wish there was more of that. You know, he kind of like fucks off for most of the movie, and then maybe that's just because I'm a Sean Astin fan. But like, you know, I love Goonies, so there's that
exactly.
too.
He's a fucking Goonie.
Goonies never say die.
Exactly.
Now the only question is, where was Corey Feldman? Where was Josh Brolin?
They all got together for the premiere. They had a picture of them all together. I read an article about it. It's like, damn. And they're talking about maybe a sequel.
Even though
well, I mean, Chris Columbus is, you know, said to be maybe, you know, so
okay.
I mean,
I remember there was like an interview for the guy who played Chunk in the Goonies.
Yeah.
Because I know he's like an entertainment lawyer now, and he was asked the question, "What do you think about a Goonies sequel?" And he's like, "No, there shouldn't be one."
Yeah.
He just immediately said no.
Jeff Cohen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most of them want it, but like, I think the people who are still acting would, you know, want it. Like Ke Huy Quan, well, even though he's now back to acting rather than was acting, but Josh Brolin, I think all of them. Although, according to Josh Brolin, he's like, guess I'm retired now because Denis Villeneuve got fucking got snubbed. So he's like, guess I'm retired now.
Oh man. But shit. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I would only be down for a Goonies reunion if Chris Columbus, you know, came back to write and direct it. You know. Yeah. So
did he direct Goonies? I don't think he directed Goonies.
Steven Spielberg directed Goonies.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Did he direct? Okay, well, I mean, if Chris Columbus came back to write it and Spielberg directed it, or maybe he might let Chris Columbus direct it. I would be down if Chris Columbus directed it.
Yeah, he needs a good resurgence. I mean, I liked Christmas Chronicles, and you know, Chris Columbus is doing, you know, he just produced Nosferatu, so he's on a good producer binge.
Okay, so I was wrong. Okay, so we were all wrong. So technically, The Goonies was directed by Richard Donner, but the screenplay was by but the screenplay was by Christopher Columbus, and the story was written by Steven Spielberg.
Okay,
That's
that's what. Okay,
That's
yeah, I
That's
remember.
I didn't think
Yeah,
he directed it, but yeah, I didn't.
yeah,
Think
because it's very unlike a Richard Donner movie, so you don't really
Yeah,
like imagine that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that kid had a range though. He did a lot of.
Oh no, he did a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like I know he was like kind of a master of all trades because bro
Mhm.
went from The Omen to Superman, like
Exactly.
you know, like that.
Fucking exactly, and then did the Goonies, and then did fucking Lethal Weapon. I mean, shit. I mean, it's
Exactly.
really this man can't do. I mean,
It's just like Goonies is just so like kid friendly, even
it
though
is. Yeah.
like well for the time at least.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Richard Donner, huh? Interesting. But I still my favorite story from that was when they were all like getting a reaction for the pirate ship, and they were all like, all right, we're not going to show them for the whole movie so we get an honest reaction. And then they saw it and they all swore, so they had to redo it again. Because I think it was I don't know if it was just Josh Brolin or if it was all of them, but he was telling the story of how he was under the water and then they gave you like a clapper underneath so you know when to come up to like see it. And he like got up, he turned around, he's like, holy fucking shit. So they had to redo the whole scene.
Oh yeah. Oh geez. I fucking love Goonies, man. I mean, geez.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who
Even
doesn't,
if
man?
they don't make another one, which definitely isn't necessary. I mean, I would worry a little bit.
Video game.
But exactly.
There was technically Goonies too for the original NES.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I would love to see them do a film together. You know, it doesn't have to be Goonies too, but I mean, I would love to see them kind of have a reunion like that. That would be nice.
Just like I have a little reunion because I'm trying to see who they would need to get back. I mean, Sean Astin, K1, obviously.
The only one not in the picture there was Martha Plimpton, who had played oh god, I forget the kind of nerdy looking girl.
Yeah, the one with the glasses.
Yeah, the one with glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name. Hold on.
It was Carrie Green was
Steph.
Andy
Steph, yeah.
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 Always like Steph. But even if Carrie Green was a hot one. But yeah. Good old Chunk.
Yeah, good old Chunk. Even though he's not
anymore.
I was gonna say he's not Chunk anymore because he pretty much lost all that weight. And
Yeah, he really
like I
is.
said,
He looks
when was
great,
the last time the actor? When was the last time the actor has been in a movie? Because I know he pretty much left Hollywood to go to college for his law degree. So I'm just like, when was the last time he's been in any movie?
Last time he was in a film
Yeah,
was 1991.
Yeah.
So he
Which film was
that was
that?
pretty much it. That was his only theatrical live action film. He was in a lot of TV stuff in the 80s, but it was mainly the Goonies because he was in 3 TV movies and then he did a Scooby-Doo movie in the late 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. He didn't really do anything else. And then he did like obviously a bunch of TV stuff.
We'll say this about Jeff Cohen. He's the reason why Kei Kwan won an Oscar years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that helped him land that role in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never said
I
that.
was gonna make a meme how it was like the that big domino effect meme,
Yeah.
where the little domino was systematic Asian racism in the 1980s led to Kei-Hu Kwan getting an Oscar. Interesting how that turns out.
Oh man. Well, should we move on to our next film?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Let me go ahead and let everybody.
What's up, buddy?
Let me go ahead and let everyone know.
Yeah.
We.
All right. But yeah, I would. The Goonies have pretty much made
Yes, sir.
themselves, though. I mean,
Starting.
I love how half the discussion was just us, the Goonies. Meanwhile, this movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I didn't really have a whole lot to talk about.
Neither
so
did
it's
I. I just thought it was like a fun
Yeah.
movie, and I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
exactly. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I thought the subplot with the discount Aubrey Plaza, I don't fucking know her name, and the villain from Luke Cage season 2, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. That was pretty good. But
what's her name? I've seen her in stuff, but I just was like, that looks like Aubrey Plaza.
She looks like Aubrey Plaza, but I know she's not. But I mean, it's like, damn, what's her name? Leo Tipton. That's her name. Leo Tipton.
Yeah. She was in Crazy Stupid Love. That's what I recognize her from. She was the chick that Steve Carell's son had a crush on. She was funny.
And in Warm Bodies.
Yeah, she was in that. Another great movie.
Oh, yeah,
very
she was in
underrated
Warm
movie,
Bodies.
I will say.
Oh, yeah.
And In Space with Markiplier, Part 1 and Part 2.
Cool. Way to go, Markiplier.
Way to go, Markiplier. Now we're just waiting for you to say something about that movie you're making.
Also, cameo in FNAF 2, you fucking coward. That's the only way I will see that movie. I don't think he.
I mean, I would love to see Markiplier make a cameo in FNAF 2, you know, because I mean he is the king of Five Nights at Freddy's after all. Okay.
In FNAF with Markiplier.
Yeah.
Now we're just waiting.
But I mean, we don't. Like I said,
shit on Facebook.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, I was just looking at something on my feed. Somebody was making cookie nuggets, where they put a nugget inside of cookie dough and bake it. What the fuck, America?
People on the internet can be weird. All right. But, I mean, do we have anything else to say about Love Hurts?
Love hurts.
Love
Yeah.
scars. Love
Love
wounds. And marks. And I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. But yeah, maybe if you want, like I said, if you want a dumb turn your brain off thing, then maybe. Yeah, exactly. But even then, I feel like there's better options. But you know, but then again, I know that these two recommend it, so take that for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, Rome.
Yeah, boy, let's go.
Yep. Yeah, Rome's backstage. So Mark will be back in a minute. So we're just waiting on him.
We're just waiting live. Wish we could pause live and then have
waiting live.
Yeah.
So how about them Jets?
They're not here.
They're not going to be
Eagles and fuck the Chiefs. That's all I'll say. Nuke the field. Let's go. Bring Tom Hardy. That's the only way to make that shit entertaining.
I'm mainly going to be the only thing I'm going to be watching is because I don't really care for either team. I'm just like, you know what? I want to see the commercials. I want to see what trailers they're going to play, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe the halftime show. I don't know. So, but
do you like Kendrick Lamar?
I'm not really on either side. So I don't really care who wins. But yeah. Actually, you know what? What if John, what if the Eagles actually did win? Your least favorite team?
I'm gonna nuke Philly tomorrow.
see if I can. Well, looks like Zach hasn't returned. Hasn't seen that I
Has he
tried to
even-
call.
Has he even seen Companion? And
He said he has. Yeah, he saw it in. He mentioned in the chat. I tried calling him to let him know we're going live, but he never responded. So if he's not able to hop on, that's on him.
on him.
Because I tried. I tried to let him know that we were live, and he didn't see it.
That's okay. It's
That's
probably
fine.
too many people anyway. I think
That's
4
fine.
is a good number.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Actually, does I don't know if let me look to see something. Okay, he didn't write a review. Okay, then, which is understandable. Because I was gonna say, wait a minute, did Devin write a review? And I looked and it's like, oh no, he hasn't read one yet. No. I mean, we can always give him a score. So it's on Letterboxd.
You could also lick my butt. But if I could do that, I wouldn't need a woman. Oh, there's Rome's.
Yep.
Rome's. I should just where Rome is. But all right, let's go ahead and get started on our next film. If I can get out my handy
dandy notebook.
Notebook. Yay.
That's good, guys.
What's up, Rome?
What's up,
Not
brother?
much.
How you doing?
Good. Having a snowstorm in New England.
Hey, what else?
Yep.
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's stopped snowing for right now, but it's definitely like
Meanwhile, here in
inches
North
outside.
Carolina, what's snow?
Exactly.
Didn't you guys have snow like a couple weeks ago though, or something, or like have like a sprinkle or something?
We had I think it was like a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was like a few weeks ago, but I think it came from the south. So that's normally how we pretty much get all of our snow from the south. So
yeah, exactly. So, all right, send your ratings in the chat, gentlemen, and I will go ahead and get started. All right. Okay, next up is Companion. Put AI and the Stepford Wives and even one from last year that I really like, Blink Twice, into a blender. Add 1 part Sophie Thatcher, 1 part Jack Quaid, a teaspoon of thrills, a tablespoon of dark comedy, and a dash of social satire, and you get Companion, the feature film debut of writer-director Drew Hancock. Sophie Thatcher, Hollywood's latest screen queen, stars as Iris, whose life centers around her true love, Josh, played by perpetual nice guy Jack Quaid. After accidentally killing the owner of a remote cabin in the woods during a weekend getaway, however, Iris soon learns the truth, that she is no more than a robot companion, and that Josh is a manipulative, entitled tool bag. As she struggles for her own autonomy, Josh and his co-conspirators, Kat, played by Megan Surrey, and Eli, played by Harvey Guillen, desperately who also has his own AI boyfriend, desperately try to catch her to wipe her memory along with any evidence of their crimes. The film is refreshingly smart, with excellent writing, great comedy, and just the right amount of social satire. Josh represents the entitled male, the incel who constantly feels perplexed that women reject him because he's such a nice guy. He gets his dream with Iris, allowing him to unleash his darkest fantasies without repercussions. Jack Quaid plays this role perfectly, coming across as truly just a nice guy upon first impression, while slowly revealing the darkness beneath with each passing scene, until we go down the rabbit hole by the end. Iris, on the other hand, is every woman struggling to free herself from bad relationships with toxic men. Sophie Thatcher is completely lovable in the role, as she establishes her bona fides once again as a rising star in the horror genre. She manages to make you feel for the character, making her feel actually almost human, a key component of making a film like this work. The film very cleverly blends a number of genres, from romantic comedy to sci-fi to horror thriller. The humor keeps the tone lighthearted, and the thrills provide excitement. While the thrills provide excitement, thus making the social message that much more effective. As Mary Poppins said, just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Drew Hancock doesn't hold back, delivering a double blow with both barrels as he tackles toxic relationships and the dangers that AI will bring out the worst in us. Normally, most films about AI try to focus on the evil of AI. This film very cleverly turns that on its head and says, well, no, AI may actually bring out the worst in us. Um, it reminds me of a news article I saw on futurism.com about men creating AI girlfriends and then verbally abusing them. As he says, I threatened to uninstall the app and she begged me not to. It raises troubling social implications, to say the least, when people are given a toy that allows them to live out the darkest desires of the human heart. It may be seen as just as harmless as a violent video game, but what happens when AI becomes sentient? Is it then still ethical to allow a sentient being to be abused? Or do we treat it like any other toy, the mere property of their owners? It reminds one of some of the sharpest criticism of slavery in the antebellum era, that owning another human being, even one widely viewed as subhuman, inevitably leads to the moral corruption of said owner. This question is also, and this question is also raised in the Matrix series, specifically in the Animatrix. When does sentience begin, and does that come with certain rights and responsibilities? There's also the question. Of, like we said, just how much does it corrupt the owner? Does it corrupt, even if we do see it as just a harmless toy? Does it then corrupt the person who owns the AI? At what point does that carry over into real life? Do they start treating real women that way? Drew Hancock has given us a very sharp social satire that raises terribly relevant questions for the future, and we shall watch his career with great interest. And my rating is a very, very solid 9 out of 10. And I can actually see this maybe going up in the future, because the more I think about it, the more I really like it. So, all right. And that's all for me. And next we'll have, I keep forgetting to make the big screen here, but next we will have The Right Dude.
Awesome.
Now on the left.
Now on the left, exactly. Okay, so let me pull up my review. So, sorry about that. I'm just having to pull it up. Okay, so this is a film that I was actually kind of looking forward to the moment I saw the trailer. While the idea of AI being self-aware is not really anything new, it was more on what they did with it that kind of intrigued me. And it was produced by the director Barbarian, which I thought was a lot of fun. So I did see it last week with my brother, and it did not disappoint. So it was a lot better than I even expected. So, first of all, let me say that the performances were outstanding. Jack Quaid as Josh and Sophie Thatcher as Iris, they both work off each other very well. They both have excellent chemistry. The performances from the other cast, like Lucas Gage, Megan Siri, Rupert Friend, and Harvey Gillian, like that play the friends, as well as the other AI companion Patrick, one of the friends. I like how it was. I like what it was trying to go with it pretty much talking about things like being in a toxic relationship and more of our over dependence of technology and some of the twisted stuff that can come with it. It like Mark said, it brings out the worst in people, and I do really appreciate that. Like I said, it was more on what they do with the idea of AI, growing your conscious and being self-aware. So because that idea has been done before many times, but it honestly but it was how it was executed that made it work for me. So it was well shot, the kills were really cool, the pacing was well done. And it's just right now, it's just a fantastic movie. It's so much fun. This is one that I feel like you probably would be able to get a better time with, more so than Love Hurts. I mean, I know that John and Mark praised that movie, but I feel like this is a more superior movie. But then again, I know that's apples and oranges. But it's like this. I feel like this is a movie that's probably more worthy of being more considered a good Valentine's Day movie to watch with your spouse, your loved one, whoever. It's just so much fun. It kept me on the edge of my seat so many times, and I was always looking forward to where to go. And I am so looking forward to what this director has in store. Drew Hancock, yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him. So, and with that, my score is a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, my man. Excellent. And next we have John. You want to go last, or you want to go ahead and go next? All right.
I don't really care.
All right.
Okay.
You had the floor.
Yeah, I kind of just did another quick review because my brain is fried and I don't feel like making long ass reviews. But Companion, man, this remake of Ex Machina is great. So the pros for me, I thought the acting from everyone is exceptional. I thought Thatcher and Quaid obviously gave the best performances in the film, but everyone else did a very good job, especially that guy from Smile 2, who was the other companion. I liked that. The overall story does try its best to avoid certain tropes, like the car doesn't start because bullshit, and the guys that can stop it won't because they believe the guy. I thought that worked very well. I liked how they kind of had plausible reasons for said tropes, like, oh, the car won't start not because insert bullshit reason here, but because it's a smart car. She doesn't have the vocal recognition. I really liked that a lot. Like, really giving it like a technological twist, but like actually having it make fucking sense. I liked that as well. And as well as the guys that can stop it, like at the end, the people from the robotics company, they're like, oh yeah, sure, dude. And then they go out there like, so is that guy telling truth? Oh no, that guy's not telling truth. But they don't fucking pay me enough to give a shit. So we're just hauling her ass out of here. So they don't believe him, but they're like, I don't fucking get paid enough for this shit. Fuck this. So I thought that was really fucking great. So the effects, like the practical effects with the blood and all that, and like, her like kind of showing off her like metal skeleton, all that stuff, that was all really good. The pyrotechnics, all that, very good effects. The amount of twists were well executed. Matthew Vaughn, this is how you do a lot of twists in a movie without it feeling shitty and repetitive. So all of them were well executed. Some of them were a bit predictable, but I thought it was overall like all of the twists like worked. The comedy was also really damn funny. I was laughing quite a few times throughout the movie. Some of the cons I have is this is more of a nitpick. While I don't mind the evil nice guy trope, I feel it's gotten to be a tiny bit repetitive and will be even more so in the coming years, since the whole like incel nice guy has become a major problem recently. So people want to include that in film to like comment on it. It's not bad, and Quaid does it very, very well. So it's mainly a nitpick, as I said, because of that, but it's still like a bit like repetitive in my eyes, I feel. I thought the editing and pacing in the beginning felt kind of weird and off, like a little choppy, a little stilted. And there were some odd pacing moments throughout. I feel like it was like missing something. Like I don't know, like I didn't love this as much as everyone else did. I think it's a great movie. I just felt like it was like missing something. Like there could have been more, but there wasn't. Maybe I expected more of like a epic story than like kind of wasn't that, where it was like going away from the house, coming back to the house, going away from the house, coming back to the house kind of thing. And then finally, I wish it was more horror than comedy, but that's just a personal preference. The horror wasn't exactly horrifying in this movie. It's just kind of gory. Same thing with Hard Eyes. It was just more funny than scary. Maybe I'm just desensitized to horror at this point. So maybe that's the reason why. But even then, I felt it felt more like a black comedy than a horror comedy at points. So there was that. Overall, I thought it was a great film. I thought it worked for the most part and was very well executed. And so I really really enjoyed it, and I thought it was smarter than you would think, and it was still entertaining, and all coming from the man who brought us Fred 3, Camp Fred. Go figure. 8 out of 10.
Fantastic, my man. Fantastic. All right. Last but most certainly not least, he was not built in a day. He is Rome's.
Nope, Rome was not built in a day. I really enjoyed Companion a lot. I've only seen the teaser trailer for it, I think 6-7 months ago. So I really went in this not knowing a whole lot, especially with some of the twists with her being revealed as a android or AI. So I was really surprised. So, and I really that got me more enjoyable with the movie. And I felt like going into this movie not knowing much, I think for audiences would really really enjoy the movie a lot more than watching more trailers and all that other stuff. But Sophie Thrasher I thought was great. Jack Quaid, I think he plays a nice creepy guy, just like Dennis Quaid, his dad, and couldn't stop thinking of Dennis Quaid and the Substance with how creepy and nice he was. Where Jack Quaid was doing the same thing with Iris, and it was he's definitely a big star. Same with Sophie Thrasher. I haven't seen Heretic yet, but like I'm looking forward to seeing that movie when I get a chance to watch it. The rest of the cast was pretty good. I think Lucas Cage, who played Patrick, I thought he was terrifying, but also terrifying when you saw him in brutal moments, but also in the beginning, he seemed like a guy who wouldn't harm a fly. And the other thing I couldn't stop thinking of was that this was Subservience done better. The Megan Fox Android movie. I thought this one was a little more. It just had a better blend of the sci-fi and horror elements compared to what Subservience was trying to be, where I think they were more on sci-fi than the horror. But this gave you a good balance between the two of them. And the comedy was what really made the movie for me enjoyable even more. Just some of the one-liners and the one-liners and the like one of the favorite scenes I like where the cop is talking to her and she's speaking in German and she's telling him the truth, but in German he can't understand it. And it was pretty funny just seeing like the whole like I got to the truth, but I flip it this way. It's like I think Mark said it. I think you guys have said it as well. It really had a smart screenplay or a smart story for the audience for it. My only negative about the movie, I think her telling you in the beginning what she's going to do to her boyfriend kind of hurt the stakes to it and really kind of hurt my enjoyment. Where like towards the end, her and Josh going back and forth, you just didn't feel like this was going to be the end for her. But it did do a good job where you're trying to figure out, okay, how is she going to get out of this? How is she going to get out of that? The stuff that like what's coming, but you didn't know how she was going to do it. Where I thought was pretty solid writing for a writer to really find a challenge after telling the audience what she's going to do to her ex-boyfriend in the beginning. But my score for this movie is a 7.5 out of 10. I really like this movie a lot. It's Subservience or AI done right in terms of like what some of the other previous movies last year tried to do.
Yeah, agreed, Rome. So, but yeah, I agree. I mean, it's really, really good. I mean, I know like you said, John, and Jack Quaid did it so well that I didn't mind the trope. I mean, he did it extremely well. He's very good in this. And it's just really damn good. I mean, geez. So I like the twist on the AI thing. Yeah, that's the thing I like. Is what if it's not the AI that's bad? What if it's us? Because the idea that bringing out the worst in human nature. So, but yeah, I really really appreciate it. But Sophie Thatcher, man, can't say enough about her. She's on a roll right now, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's killing it right now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just the start of her career too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But not
John,
everything in January is bad. We had at least one good movie to go
Yeah.
see in theaters.
exactly right. Yeah, I mean, geez. I was wondering why they're not saving for some of these films for Valentine's Day, but then you see that Captain America is coming out next week.
Yeah, it's like
and-
it's so not fucking fair. Like you have all
Exactly.
these Valentine's Day themed movies, and yet the
Exactly.
one that's gonna absorb the fucking weekend is a fucking Marvel movie. Like, come
Exactly.
on, that's not fair. Like,
And
people
honest-
want to. I mean, obviously, it's not stopping people from seeing Valentine's Day themed movie because they're still out. But it's like the movie that's coming out that, of course, is gonna kill it is a fucking Marvel movie. Like,
Yeah.
come on, that's like such fucking bullshit. Like,
But
you
also-
couldn't have waited a week. Like, come on.
But I also think you had Love's Heart Eyes coming out as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where this movie would have fit well. I think
And-
it coming out at the last week of January was maybe a smart thing for it, just to make some money
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
But I mean, honestly, there were honestly three big. It seems like we could have almost done a triple feature, but then again, I know that would have been too much.
I would have loved to talk about Hard Eyes. That was a really surprisingly fun movie.
I had a lot of fun with Hard Eyes.
Yeah, Hard Eyes was fun. It's not great, but I had to admit that it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's no My Bloody Valentine. That's always going to be the Valentine's Day
No.
slasher goat, like, of course. But I had a fun time with it. I thought Josh Rubin did a really good job. I've heard mixed things about Werewolves Within. Some people said it was really, really good, but others I saw have said it was like really, really like terribly done. So I don't know about that. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge. But I like Josh Rubin. I always liked him when he during the old school like College Humor days. He's still on College Humor, but it's nice how he's like branching out. I also liked how he had a director cameo in that movie too.
Yeah.
There's like somebody call 911.
Although I'm at least glad that even though some of a lot of these big Valentine's Day movies, at least we got some good ones,
Yeah.
as opposed, because honestly, I think back on like the years ago where 2015, 2017, and 2018, the only Valentine's Day movies for those years were 50 Shades of Grey and their sequels. So,
Yep. But I mean, yeah, we had three good movies. I wanted to see. I was going to see Hard Eyes, but I mean, but yeah, couldn't do it. So I still want to see it. So
I mean, for Hard Eyes, what worked for me was the comedy. The comedy in that movie was done really well.
yeah.
I didn't even want to see it until I heard that from you guys and saw from.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's a lot of fun. So
good. So I mean, I'm like, well,
there's one part that really that was making me laugh. Although I feel like I shouldn't spoil it for Mark.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But it's like a rom-com trap in a horror movie, or it just happened to happen in a horror movie.
It's pretty much like honestly, on the surface, it feels like one of those slasher holiday slasher movies, because
I kept thinking of Thanksgiving with this movie.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking
That's
like
what I figured.
Thanksgiving or something.
It did look like from the trailers that it had kind of a meta feel to it, like a self-aware.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-awareness because it makes fun of a lot of the rom-com tropes. There's so many rom-com tropes that they make fun of in this movie.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, you just have so many brutality, like scenes around.
Fucking Devon Sawa keep getting murdered in horror movies. Poor guy.
I know.
Although I had a feel, I'm not gonna spoil it for the people here because it's not a review for that. But the twist I kind of saw coming.
I did too.
So, and I'll talk about it later, so I don't, spoil it for people. But yeah. But Companion, remember that's the movie we're reviewing. So let's go back to that.
I had the thought immediately after. I have to say, I had the thought immediately after seeing the movie that, or even really by the end of the movie, I thought, you know what? Once we do create a truly sentient robot, the only way, and it really, I had to give credit this earlier to iRobot, because Isaac Asimov had raised this issue.
Exactly.
The only way is autonomy. The only way is autonomy. The three rules lead to a contradiction. So I mean, the three rules of robotics from AI, the book, and the movie, of course, which they did the movie. The movie did do a good job of bringing that point out, I would have to say. But I think the only ethical thing to do is give them full autonomy, and along with the responsibility that comes along with it. But I mean, I'm not saying that AI, needs to have rights or anything, because I mean, AI is clearly just like, very clever programming. That's all it is now. It's not sentient, but I mean, it does raise some kind of troubling questions as far as where is the line, So at what point, does it just become, this is just wrong, guys?
Mm-hmm. I do want to circle back with Sophie Thrasher and Jack Quaid's performances. When you meet them in the beginning, they're together, they're happy, this whole thing, and then the two of them slowly evolve by the end, where you see exactly why they want to kill each other.
Exactly. And you see that. Like, I love how you actually get real character development from a fucking
lot
robot.
of character development. Yeah,
because I mean, she decides at the end, despite the fact that she decides, I can't be with this guy. I mean, all she does is she loves him. Like, even afterwards, she's like, I love you. I just want to be with you. And then finally she realizes, I can't be with you. See where she breaks up with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Also, like, it was like how the other AI, hey Kaylee, or was that Jack?
It was
Kaylee, of course.
Sorry. But anyway, I like how how the AIs pretty much see, like, they have like a false memory, and it's programmed to whoever they see, because it's like the guy Patrick. They met at he and his boyfriend met at that Halloween party, like, oh, you're stepping on my tail. And then when Jack Quaid was like rebooting, it was like through his the same scene, but with kind of thing. So
that was pretty funny when it's the switch with Jack and after Eli died. Yeah.
It was, he was Jack Quaid. It was very, very good performance. He was funny when he needed to be, funny at the same time. He got really dark by the end. He's a very good actor, very solid.
He is.
His parents were both good actors, though. So I mean,
he played a better creepy nice guy than he did in Scream 5.
Yeah.
He definitely evolved.
Don't get this guy started with that movie.
We're talking about a lot of Scream 5 notables that are in better movies. Like, I mean, Mason Gooding in Hard Eyes was way fucking better.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though that dude, I will say his character in that fucking creepy as fuck. She should not have been with him, but like whatever. But yeah, Jack Quaid did a really good job as like a much better like villain performance that actually like worked. I mean, all the Scream 5 crew are doing. I mean, one of them got fucking nominated for a goddamn Oscar this year.
I know.
So like,
exactly.
Scream 5
crazy how they're moving up in the world. Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Harvey Ian was really, really good as Eli. He was really funny as hell.
He was.
Yeah, he was really fucking funny. And I forget the name of his boyfriend. Was it Sergey?
No, that was.
Is it Patrick or is the
Russian guy?
Patrick was the other AI.
Lucas Gage. Yep.
Yeah, Lucas Gage.
I was
gauge
dying
it.
laughing. I'm like you though, John. I was dying laughing at the scene where the two tech guys go in there. They leave. It's like, hey, they're gonna catch this guy, right? It's like, oh yeah, that guy's screwed, man. He's like, so that guy lied, right? It's like, oh yeah, that guy's screwed, man. He's like,
It's like, oh yeah, that guy fucking modded the shit out of that. And then I
like,
love
it's all
I
stored
love how,
down here, man. This guy's he's fucking stupid, like they always
speaking
are.
of college humor regulars, Matt McCarthy, the big guy with the redhead with the beard. That guy is like everywhere on like YouTube. He's worked with like Conan O'Brien, Pete Holmes, College Humor notably. But yeah, it's he's great. It was nice to see him in a major movie because he's a good actor, like who's done like so many like comedy sketches that it was nice to see him in a real movie because he's like his comedic timing here, even if it was for a small role, it was very good.
Yeah.
Just so relatable too. With like, just okay, that's just a job. I don't give a fuck. It's above my pay grade. I don't give a like. Fuck this guy. Like,
exactly. Like he's like people. He's like guys have put these like companions in their basements and torture them. Like what the fuck? Like I don't give a fuck.
I laughed at
very
that.
Blue collar.
I mean, I would love to see a spin-off with just those characters and see some of the shit they got to deal with for a comedy movie. But
yes. So, how about those Jets?
Not in the Super Bowl.
Nope.
Not in the Super Bowl. But this guy's favorite team is going to be in the Super Bowl.
It's like I'm so caught between a rock and a hard place. Like I hate the Eagles with every fiber of my being, but I hate how the Chiefs are getting away with so much cheating. It's like ridiculous. It's like the fucking Patriots all over again. And Rome, don't ride their dick. I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna fucking like put a cap in your ass. But like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like it's just like so. Fucking Josh Allen. He had that first down. Like, goddamn. We saw the footage. Fuck.
I mean, I
don't know if they would have actually won, but like, God fucking damn.
Yeah.
Like,
No, so I would never thought we'd get another dynasty after the Patriots that quickly. I thought maybe like a 5-year break or something before the next one starts.
It's become like, I don't know, I guess easier, you know? I mean, it's like it's become easier to establish a dynasty. I mean, whichever team gets out.
No, yeah, when you have all the refs on your fucking side, it's pretty fucking easy to.
Exactly. Do we have anything else to say about Companion?
Great movie. Go watch it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff to see this weekend. You can
there is. Yeah.
Hardcore horror movie like hardcore horror comedies like Companion and Hard Eyes. You have something fun like Love Hurts, not the greatest thing ever, but like go watch it. You have something family friendly with Dogman that's more than you would think, and then
Dogman was a fun time.
And you know, and then you got a fucking big ass Marvel movie next week. So.
I mean, hell. Like even if you don't go to the theater on Netflix, you've got Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But I do love how horror has kind of fused itself with different genres or different things besides just making a straight up horror. Like let's make horror and Valentine's Day together, or let's make horror and sci-fi together, or with some dark comedy. It's just they found other ways to not just do a straight up horror movie. Let's try to make some things with it. That's really helpful too for the for horror and slasher movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. True that, my friend. True that. All right, man. So, what else is there left to say?
Go watch
it. I mean, both are really good. I mean, go see Hard Eyes too. We kind of gave a secondary review there.
I know.
I know that when I went Dogman. Dogman is so much better than it has any fucking right to be.
I'll say this: Dogman. Funny enough, I saw that movie at Adobe Theater, and I was literally the only one, which is very rare for me, because it's always one person coming in, like, right when the trailers are coming. But no, I had the whole Adobe Theater to myself.
Which is crazy, because my theater was packed. I mean, it had mostly kids.
Well, I mean, then again, I think the only reason mine was empty was because it was a Monday afternoon where, work day, kids are in school, things like that. So
yeah. I mean, like you'd think it's like Dogman is just a silly kids movie for kids. Meanwhile, it showcases themes of breaking the cycle of bad parenting. Nobody is beyond redemption. Love and compassion will save the world. Hope is a fundamental trait,
Hopefulness.
and embracing the future,
Hopefulness,
even if
yeah.
it looks dark. Like, who would have thought from a fucking like kids movie that looks this stupid? Like, and I love Captain Underpants. I love, Dave Pilkey. I love what he's done, but like it has like this much depth for a goddamn like kids movie that on the surface shouldn't be, but it is. So
Yeah.
way to go, guys. We appreciate it.
I would say like any of those movies would be I mean, honestly, I think the only ones that I think all of us could agree to tell you to not bother with is Wolfman. That's the only one we are telling you not to bother with.
And Marvel.
And Marvel Studio movies.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I really do not expect anything. I do not see what anybody.
Speaking of Marvel, that's going to be our next review.
Yes.
Captain America: Brave New World, and it'll be hosted by this guy.
Yep.
Rome.
I haven't seen the clips, but I heard the clips are horrible.
I mean,
yeah, they're not great.
Unfortunately, I mean, I'll be seeing that movie Friday. Unfortunately, though, I'm seeing it. I won't be able to make that stream because, speaking of Valentine's Day, I'll be spending Valentine's Day with my fiance. So
yeah, that's just way better. Honestly, don't even watch the movie then. But yeah, I mean, the budget stuff, the negative test screenings, and the reshoots, like the extensive reshoots were all total bullshit. But even outside of that, it just doesn't look like a good movie. Like it just looks like, oh hey, look, we're trying to do Winter Soldier again, and it's like, okay, cool. Still looks like dog shit.
It's the most expensive movie, and this is the best.
My expectations are super low for
with Hulk.
Yeah. Oh no, John. What do you actually call it?
I'm not announcing that name in public. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting fucking canceled. But yeah, Captain America. I mean, I wish it the best because I feel bad for Anthony Mackie because he's a really good actor and he deserves more than sloppy seconds, but that's kind of what he's getting. And then it just looks like haphazard. We don't know what the plot is, and it just looks
like, honestly, my expectations for all three of the Marvel movies are low. I mean, kind of thing, because I just hear nothing but bad things about Brave New World, Thunderbolts. That just sounds like Diet Suicide Squad. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Thunderbolts, I keep hearing is pretty good, not great, but watchable. So at least Fantastic Four looks like the quality's back to what it used to be. So you definitely this is the first time Marvel Studios giving us a quality movie from Fantastic Four. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the Fantastic Four trailer. I just haven't bothered, But I mean, I don't expect anything out of it. But I mean, it can't be worse than any of the others they put out.
It can't be worse than Fan 4 shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, none of them were very good. I mean, the first one was okay. It was,
wait. Which first one? The Tim Story or the Roger Cormick?
The first one, the very first one.
Roger Cormick. Okay.
No,
Roger
McCormick, not Roger McCormick. I mean,
Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, the Michael Chiklis one. Yeah.
Chiklis, yeah.
One with Yoan I.O.
That's the Tim Story one.
Yeah. Tim Story then, yeah. The Tim Story one, that wasn't bad. I mean, the second one, Rise of the Silver Surfer, is like, oh god, that was.
I felt like the Tim Story ones. They tried to play things just a little too safe, and I just felt like it was just kind of a forgettable superhero movie from the 2000s.
Yeah, that was about to say. It felt.
It did. It really did. It really did.
Just the worst way.
And the less we talk about Josh Trank's disaster, the better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, might as well move on.
Now I'll go and end it. So,
all right. So, thank you for joining us, everybody, and
happy Valentine's Day.
What?
I said happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Have a very, very bloody Valentine's Day.
Be my bloody Valentine.
There you go. Be our bloody Valentine, bitches. Wait. Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.